Hello everyone, in Survival Machine, every other night a horde of zombies will rush the machine, becoming more and more difficult each time. We've kind of gotten to the point where they also start climbing the sides, and this contraption right here, well, it looks like a mess, and it is a mess. I don't think it's gonna hold out much longer. These engines, they're kind of protecting our core components. That is the main thing we gotta do. As you can see, it's almost horde night once more. However, I also collected over 1,000 logs, so we should be good on defenses. Actually, they do cost planks, so that might become a problem, to be fair. Alright, to the sawmill, I suppose. And let's dump in a bunch of that. My idea so far is to surround the core component here with walls, and then have traps all around it. I wish the energy generators were a bit less expensive, because these DIY generators, well, they take up a lot of space eventually. But these ones require screws and pistons, and I don't think we can make any of that. Maybe the screws. Oh, we can also make the pistons, actually. Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything. So I don't see screws. Yeah, I guess we cannot make screws. That is weird. Alright, let's start removing some of these generators. I would love to just straight up move them. It seems like I'm gonna have to destroy them for now. And then we quickly have to build them back. Alright, well, before it turns actual nighttime, quickly surround this with walls. So ultimately, we only have to make sure one of them is completely encased and protected. Then we need to figure out what is better. I would imagine spikes, but fire traps are a lot cheaper, which is probably why the spikes are better. And let's just surround this with some fire traps for now. So at least, you know, they'll die eventually. So now they'll climb up, they'll catch fire. They hopefully run towards this one and then catch fire again. We'll have to make this better over time. Alright, I'm also checking out some of the machine upgrades. This one isn't going to help us much with protection, but 10% extra efficient might actually be good. An extra core component might also not be bad, but it costs diagrams though. And the rest we have not unlocked yet, but they're also quite expensive. Alright, there's 2 items here, or there's 3 items actually here that I want. One is advanced components, we're going to need more diagrams. And then 2 loadout pieces. Looking at our own upgrades though, the Gatherer's Totem actually isn't too bad. Now, it's a bit too late in the day to go gather glass for those for that item, but good to keep in mind. Alright, well, it is nighttime now. In the morning, my plan is to quickly run over to those locations, grab the glass, chop down any trees along my path. I'm wondering as well if getting a second bomb thrower is good. Just so I don't have to reload, I can just get off and get on the other one. Alright, there's a ton of them already. Alright, some of them are running over there. That is good. They're on fire, which means they slowly die. And they have died. That means that our plan actually works. That core component's kind of screwed. One of the generators is broken. Alright, I think we have to deal with it manually. I hope we can get something that is slightly more damage dealing than the ballista, or the bomb thrower, I mean. That also does explosive radius. I know that there is a ballista. But from what the description says, it kind of feels like it's a single target item, or power, I guess. There's so many, man. I know I say this every horde night, but it's kind of what we have to deal with right now. And this is why we're going to have to set up something that is better. More defensible. I'm interested to see how well our walls held up after this. Yes, how's this wall looking? Honestly, this side might be busted, but it actually held up. I mean, the core component still got damaged from this side, but that wasn't actually all too bad. Alright, let's go out and collect those resources real quick. Alright, I was looking for this first one. It's just out in the open here. And it is a digestive tonic. I think it's kind of pointless now, though, isn't it? I know we already unlocked this before they changed the hunger system. Because now you don't really have a hunger system. Actually, the timer of when you can eat the next apple might be shortened. In that case, it's going to be pretty good. Alright, let's head over to the next flare. I don't really have any time to dilly-dally, really. Even though I am. 1 diagram? I was kind of hoping for more. Alright, at the top of the cliffs here, there's this tent camp. Means we're gonna have to find some zombies. Shouldn't be too hard, though. Well, might become now, because just broke our good weapon. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. The swords, I really do not like them. Let's hope that the zombies didn't respawn or something, though. Well, it seems like it. So if you're wondering why I don't just open this chest, actually it doesn't go in as slow as I expected. They seem to be stuck outside, which might be good. Yeah, I don't know what's up with them. It's like they have a barrier or something and they cannot get in. Stay out, demon spawn. This is sacred ground. And the neat thing is, it seems like we can actually hit them from back here. Without them hitting us. And let's make the Gatherer's Totem, as well as the digestive tonic. So let's see, it was 10 seconds for the apple. Now it's 8, so yeah, the timer is shortened. That's pretty good. Right, let's work on this a little more. So we do definitely need something that is at least a little stronger. But we also need to have it around pretty much all these core component locations. So that probably means we're gonna have to make a second floor to this place. Then we need to have a space for our stairs. Although, do we? We just connect it up to, let's say, this right here. We can just use this platform. Yeah. Alright, sweet. Alright, next up, my idea is to put the power generation a floor above then. That way they're not really in the way, we don't have to move them. Also interesting, the core components, they're not aligned. Also, this one is bigger. So we cannot build here? Why not? Why can I not place this door down? Oh, it actually comes with its frame now. Okay. Well, I didn't used to. That way we can easily repair the core component. We just open this up. Do bop. And then we close it again. Let's do that on each one. For some reason, I'm not allowed to build it there. It might be because of the traps, though. Yep, it was. Oh, well, good news. I found some more advanced components. I really want to get those as well, because we're going to need them for the woodworking table, and we're so close to being able to make that. It would be another tent area, of course. Let's see if the same strategy works here. There was no fence, though, so... Yeah, no, it doesn't work on this one. Well, let's head back to the machine. We're going to need a better weapon for this. Let's see, the reinforced club is the strongest one we can make. Takes a bit of tin. And then one seems to be stuck outside again. That is so weird. Alright, please tell me these are the diagrams we need. 2 of them. Yes, we have enough. Sweet. There's also an apple orchard here. There's so many distractions in this game, which is honestly why it's kind of annoying that the zombies come every other night. Because there's just so much you want to do, but you have to keep going back to the machine. Worry about this increasing zombie horde. Alright, the nice thing is, now that I have the Gatherer's Totem with the bronze axe, it takes 2 hits for me to chop down 1 tree. It used to take 3, and then on the 3rd hit I got 1 log, which not really ideal. Let's make that woodworking table.
This isn't enough. We have to prepare the machine better for the zombie attack at night. You're gonna have to build some traps to defend against them.
Gonna have to build some traps, some slow traps. We can only make 1 of those, man. Let's place those, like, right here, I guess. Build a light cannon using wooden pegs. We have enough of that? Hell yeah. But I doubt we have enough power for it. The light cannon. Long range artillery appears and sacrifices raw damage for extended reach. And the ballista, that is expensive though. 20 diagrams. Alright, well, we're gonna need more power. And we ran out of batteries. That is unfortunate.
I'm looking after you, buddy. So I left a few items in the reward chest. I think you'll find they'll come in handy.
Hell yeah.
It's time to build a smithy. This is gonna allow you to craft much better weaponry.
We already have a smithy though? Ooh, reinforced club. That ain't too bad. There's actually a bunch of stuff in here that we could probably just dismantle. Then we have to craft a revolver. Let's make some of these. Love how the hinges are made out of copper and wooden pegs, yet they look like iron. And then we need a revolver. And then we need to craft the high output. Yeah, we need more reinforced planks for that. I'm guessing that engine is the next core component. What do we need for that? 10 more reinforced planks? Where does one craft that? I imagine a woodworking table, right? Yes. You know, now that I'm grabbing all this stuff, why the hell am I focusing on this? Sometimes the things I do are beyond me. Actually, though, a 3rd engine part ain't a bad idea. We needed this one. Can we make this one? We need plates and more diagrams. Ooh, a bunch of good loot around. We might actually want to stop here. Alright, enough of all that. We really need to work on this. Alright, so we don't have enough power. Crap. And in order to get more power, we needed to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to destroy this. There's no way I'm going to use this light gun, right? Actually, it does do explosives. What? Actually, none of them outright say that they only hit one dude and it's not an explosive round. Because now we can just do this, right? Then go back to the other one. It should make reloading a little quicker. Yeah, that might actually be good. Right, well, in that case, we're gonna need to get some more power going. So we need more batteries. I think we also needed some other supplies anyway from these engines. So it's all good. Alright, sweet. So we now have that upgrade. However, in order to actually make it, we need reflectors, we need hinges. Reflectors we can only get from those big special chests. So that's gonna be fun. Alright, with that we have quite a bit of power. Let's lay down some more traps. These are also going to be fire traps for now. Ooh, and I cannot place it right in front of the door. Alright, quickly repair everything that we can. Alright, the zombies are on their way. However, I think this might be the way to defend against them. Alright, we got the strategy as well. We switch from ballista to cannon back to ballista. Let's see if this is going to work out. Alright, here they come. Okay, it does only deal one hit of damage, but it deals a ton of it. So it's not actually worth switching per se. If it only deals damage to one zombie, even though it's a lot of damage. Alright, so I'm gonna start this round on the light cannon. Why are they not spawning? They're all dead, right? Looks it. The reason why is if this thing deals like triple damage, we might actually be able to take out a few of the big guys if I can spot them. Yeah, I don't think it's actually worth it. There's just too many of them. And the 80 damage just isn't enough to properly deal with them anyway. Doesn't actually seem like they did a lot. Not even to this one, that's kind of surprising. This might actually be the ultimate zombie defense right here. But I'm definitely gonna change out the light cannon. Like, we can better use that power for something else. Like a couple more fire traps, for example. I think something I want eventually, but we would need a lot of copper for this, is to surround the actual core components with these spikes and then have a ring of fire around that. Do you think we have to wait so long because it is designed to give you a lot of time to deal with all these zombies? That might just mean that our defense really is good enough to hold off these zombies for now. I think they potentially just get stuck somewhere. Maybe that's why it's taken so long. They under the machine? I know during the demo. Yeah, there they are. That was only one, so it wasn't that bad. Right. Well, the core components themselves don't actually have damage by the looks of it. Besides the damage it generates by itself over time, of course. The walls on this one are looking pretty good. Yeah, this one is a little beat up. The door's fine. It's just this one that had some damage. But it's also the least protected one. I would call that a success. Yeah, I would say with that, we are definitely on the path of creating the ultimate zombie survival machine. I think right now, though, the grind of gathering a ton of supplies is on. Especially the rare components. We need a ton of those. Ooh, got a bunch of diagrams in this one. And I really should have emptied my inventory. So I see some black smoke coming from over there. I've seen that from a ways away, so I wonder what is over there. It seems to come from this building right here. We've entered the factory. Not sure what we're doing at the factory. Oh, easily got to this one right here. This chest. Ooh, that had... Wait, that's it? I feel like this is not how I was supposed to get here, though. Yeah, I think I had to go from over there. You can just climb on these boxes here. I think you have to climb up there. Yeah, I think we had to go over here. We had to pull that. Then we had to do this parkour stuff. I mean, the glider also makes it a lot easier. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That looked a lot more special, I guess, than it was. I will say, though, it looks like the farther we get into the game, the higher the loot pool is on each chest, which is quite nice. There's quite a bit left to be doing. A lot more so in this game than I thought there was. But I think that's just mainly because it starts to get very grindy to get some of these items. And to get the machine fueled at all times. So what I'm thinking of doing is collect a bunch of resources. So when the next video rolls around, hopefully we got some new things to do. Again, I think we've seen pretty much everything, or all the roadblocks anyway. Now it's just time to grind a lot of resources, especially the special ones like diagrams and reflectors. There's also this interesting one, the plow ram. Unlocks the ability to access the alpine biome by equipping your vehicle with a powerful plow ram. I don't think that's in the game yet, but I also think that is probably going to be the final quest for this area. Funny enough, that one actually isn't as crazy, it just costs a lot of planks and bronze. It seems like some of them are okay, and some of them are actually pretty good, like a bombardment amplifier. That one also isn't that expensive. Yeah, so we definitely need to get some more machine blueprints, that's for sure. I also saw something over here, artillery improvement. Inflicts greater damage to enemies. We definitely need those. Yeah, for now, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye everyone.